Hey guys, today I want to talk to you about how to use video for business in ways other than straight up vlogging. So we kind of all understand at the moment that video is really great for business. Google loves it, YouTube loves it, people love it because they're consuming that way. But how can we use video in our business in ways other than just plain content? So I have 5 different uses for video that you can use to not only help streamline your business, but to simply keep up with the communication practices that are just evolving naturally in our everyday lives. So the first use of video I have for you today is using video to systemize and create processes in your business. So when we're onboarding or hiring staff, we often have things that they're going to need to learn, regardless of how well qualified they are. It might even just be that you do something slightly different. It also might be that in our current environment where so many people are working from home or remotely, they need to be able to understand the way that the business and even the culture works and the practices that you use in order to get things done. So creating instructional type videos to show that potential employee or the staff member that you've just hired how to do something could be really valuable for you because you don't have to waste time teaching them. Now, sure, they might have questions after, but it certainly lessens the time required of you or of somebody else in your business to teach them that skill. I used to work in a company, and when I first started there, I had to be shown everything. And I remember when I started there, I had a person assigned to me, and that person was assigned to me for like 1 to 2 weeks. And pretty much every time somebody new came into the business, that person was assigned to the new staff member. And I remember thinking that it was such an inefficient practice because it was systems designed specifically for this business. They could have saved a lot of time by maybe taking out a day or 2 to create video around the processes and not to have somebody assigned to the new person. Everybody learns at different rates, and to have to retain information or write down information as somebody is telling you is really, really tedious. I gotta tell you, I would look back over my notes and I would completely forget the process because I'm trying to onboard so much information. So I encourage you, if you have programs or systems that are very unique to you, they're not really standard things, to perhaps document them through the use of video, because it's going to make your life so much easier and it's going to reduce the time that you need to spend with them, and it's going to make their life easier because guess what? When they have questions, they're going to start to feel bad to keep asking them over and over, especially if there's someone who needs to hear it 10 times or do it 10 times before it really takes hold. So my second use of video for you is very similar to the one that I just shared, and it really is about hiring and onboarding staff. So to create video around not just your processes and systems, but around your culture, around your history, around your beliefs, your values, and your principles is a really great idea to do, because oftentimes when people don't really fit in to our business, it can be a cultural fit, and to have that documented somewhere where they've had access to it and they've had to watch it at some point gives you leverage as management, as the boss, to reference that if you get to that point where you need to sit down and have a hard word with that staff member. You know, you could create really fun videos around culture, and you could even use them then to advertise for staff. Someone who aligns with you already, who you don't hire, and then maybe they don't really align at all, but it can help qualify your potential staff member a little bit better, and it can help you fire them a little bit later on if necessary. So my third use of video for business is communications. We all need to communicate with our staff members, even with our clients, and really depending on the size of your business, it can get more complicated the bigger it is. But you'll see now that programs such as Slack are integrating video calls. There's Skype for Business, there's Cisco Spark. And you know, if you just want to be ghetto, if you're just starting out, if you have a tiny team, you can just make a Facebook group and go live into that group if you're wanting everybody to participate at the same time. Video calling is also awesome if you have a remote team, because it's a way for you to stay connected other than email, other than the written word. And especially if that person that you're communicating with communicates their message better by speaking, it can be a really valuable, time-saving, efficient process to use video. My fourth use of video for business is product demonstrations. If you have an app, if you have a physical product, even if you have a certain type of service, it's a really great idea to get somebody in to film the process of using that app, using that service, using that product. Show people different types of ways they can use it, or perhaps just show them the process to make it easier and more efficient for them. A lot of us are visual learners, but also we all assimilate information in different ways. Some people read something and they go, got it, know how to do it, know how to use it, I'm good. There are others that hear things and that's how they process. And then there are those of us who are very visual, and to actually see it played out before our eyes is a far more effective way to communicate with us. So I encourage you, product or service or whatever it may be, to use video to help make the sale and the process easier for your end client. And my fifth use of video for business is testimonials. I can't stress this enough. I remember the first time I ever bought something really, really expensive online, I watched every testimonial that was there, and they had about 25 video testimonials and they had about 50 written ones. I read and I watched everything, and I actually bought that product in the end. And I'll tell you this, the difference it can make to someone teetering on the edge as to whether or not they'll spend that money, but also hearing it from the horse's mouth, hearing it from somebody who has used your product or service, and to know that it's not just a fabricated 2 sentences that you've written and chucked a false name on. And I know you wouldn't do that, but it happens. So to have somebody sit down in front of a camera and actually tell their story, tell how you measured up, how you changed their life, whatever it is, video can be really, really powerful for that. I'll also say this, I remember the first time I ever saw a video testimonial ad on Facebook, and I wasn't interested in the product, but I watched all 15 minutes of it, and that's a long time to sit and watch a testimonial that I know I'm not going to buy the product for. It was really powerful because they story told really well, and that's your opportunity there to tell different people's stories and to tell it really well with power and emotion. You'd be surprised at what it can do for the bottom line of your business. So that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I would love to hear if you have any other ideas for how you can use video in business other than vlogging and other than the 5 ways that I just showed you. I'll see you guys next week in the way that